What's up, guys? This is the 5 Crown Co-op. I am Ton.
And I'm Sigourney Weaver.
And this is Twin Cobra.
Get right out of town.
I am not going to get out of town. I'm going to make us a little nicer, and then we're going to go right back to playing it.
Don't try to mess me up, Ton.
So
I didn't do that to you ever.
For those of you who don't know, I once had a little entrepreneurial adventure.
You were in the Navy?
With a friend of mine, and
we don't hit that button.
Had like a little arcade business at a local college, and we went all over the place. We went to different states and would buy arcade machines from private collections and also like out of arcades that were going out of business. Like in Aladdin's Castle, we bought a machine out of before.
Which one?
Which Aladdin's Castle?
Which machine?
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nah.
Anyway.
Wow, I'm awesome at this game. Give me that S.
The only machine I kept from that whole endeavor when we sold them all, which I wish I would have kept a different one, but this one is the one, Twin Cobra. And the arcade version is way sweeter than this. Like, it just looks nicer. Runs really sweet. But, yeah, the reason for it is, like,
holy cow.
This game, like, Twin Cobra, is, like, awesome repeat play. Awesome repeat play. Like, you can just sit and play Twin Cobra for like all night and have fun, basically.
There's no reason for me to keep playing it because I'm probably just going to beat it right now.
Yeah, the only thing that's really like rough about it is you'll go through 99 boards of Twin Cobra, and then it basically starts off at this level again, but it's like double the baddies, and it's just completely insane. Just completely insanity. It's really a bummer to see. I mean, this is cool that it's on the NES, but it's so much cooler on arcade. So much cooler.
What's that?
But that's also an interesting time. Grab it, dude.
I'm trying. There's a lot of stuff flying around.
There is.
Oh, geez.
This is also like an interesting time. Keep going. I've played this game so many times.
I wouldn't want you to show me up.
So, like, these days, if somebody were to go to the arcade and play, especially this era of games, any younger person would just be like, well, this is kind of dumb. The graphics are terrible, whatever it is.
Younger people are dumb. There, I said it.
But this is a time period where this is what you had at home, the NES version that looked like this. And the arcade machines were way more powerful than an NES, so the graphics were like much better, like twice as good and sometimes more, and smoothness of play was even better. So it's just an interesting time when you think back on it all.
Took that guy out with me.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely at home you'd be stoked to have this.
So do you play it constantly?
No. I played it so much on that arcade that I don't play it on NES at all. In fact, if I'm playing on NES, even though I think in some regard Twin Cobra is kind of superior, I tend to play Tiger Heli over Twin Cobra on NES. Just because I'd rather play Twin Cobra on arcade. But my all-time favorite arcade game that we owned and that I played a lot of, and what I wish I would have kept, honestly, was a game called Time Soldiers. That game was absolutely awesome, and I feel like had really great repeat play. You must have it on a harder level here or something, because this is some pretty intense amount of fire from this thing.
Not for me. I think I just beat the game, Ton.
You got through the first board here.
Nope. That's it. And that's all.
Time Soldiers, if anybody doesn't know, Or if you do know, talk to me in the comments down below, or you can ask any question about the arcade business or what machines we owned or whatever, any of that stuff. Or if you've played Twin Cobra or you know what I'm talking about from that era, or Time Soldiers even. Time Soldiers was awesome. It had this specialized controller also, which was like a six-way joy, but then also rotated the same joystick. So if anybody's familiar with like Smash TV, you know how that joystick just rotated? Well, it was kind of the same.
Six-way joy. I feel like this show is kind of a six-way joy.
Six-way was really good compared to four-way, like feeler switches. This was all micro switches, six-way joystick, all cherries, you know, and then plus the rotating part. So it's kind of like Smash TV in effect, where like you had a dude with a rocket launcher thing. Wow, look at that thing slowing down. You had a guy with a rocket launcher, and there we go. You would be advancing through the board. It was my bomb, dude.
I forgot you had bombs.
Yeah,
I beat that whole level without a single bomb.
That's good for you, man.
Thank you.
Dang. I really want to get over here, but it's kind of too late.
So do you think we should open an arcade again? Is that what you're saying?
That would be fun.
And you could pay for all of it?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, right? So we got the Time Soldiers game for like $180, and it was mint condition cabinet, and like mint condition. And when you turned it on, the screen wasn't that great. It was like all fuzzy. You could barely make out what was on screen. I opened it up and back, just tweaked a little bit of the settings on the CRT in the back. There's manual settings, and it instantly was mint. It was just like it got somehow out of adjustment, and it was the best machine we had. The screen was like brand new. But anyways, these guys they just had a rocket launcher, and you could turn them and move them back and forth or whatever, all directions, and shooting. And you'd go through a board, and it was like a certain time period, and then you'd hit a portal at the end, and you'd start the next board in a different time period. And no matter what, if you're fighting like knights and whatever, or like alien robots, you're still like the same kind of dude with a rocket launcher thing, and then different various upgrades to your gun. It was awesome.
What was this game called?
Time Soldiers.
I was thinking of Time Killers.
No, Time Killers was
with the guy with the chainsaw.
Yeah, that was very like had shock value and was really cool. But
Time Killers, engage.
Yeah, the sound was really awesome in Time Killers also. But Time Soldiers was a better game than Time Killers. Time Killers wasn't really that great. It just had shock value, and the whole fact that you could like cut people's limbs off and blood would shoot out and stuff. But it actually wasn't like the greatest of games.
Well, appreciate that trip down memory lane, ton.
It was awesome. It was good times back then. It was fun. There's even more stories. I have so many more stories. We met a guy. We got to go into this warehouse to buy a machine from a guy, and I have no idea. It was in Minneapolis somewhere. A big, huge warehouse in the middle of the city, and we were not allowed to know like the actual owner guy's name. It was some ultra rich person, and the collection of arcade in there. So just so you know, Dust, dang it, that's what you need to get to, is those spreaders right there. That is the business in the arcade version. And then your spreader can expand, and then eventually you can even get where you have side extra like little choppers on the side of you shooting guns alongside your spreader. It's like that's where you need to get to.
So you just need to stop running into things, you're saying?
100%. So anyway, we went into this warehouse, and it was totally like what you'd see in the movies in the 80s and whatever, where there's like you go into a warehouse and there's just a security guy who's sitting in this cage, and he's got, closed circuit TVs in there that's monitoring all these cameras around the property. And the warehouse was absolutely loaded with arcade and other various things, like floor to ceiling. Like it had it palletized and up on shelves, and there was everything, like the sit down super valuable Star Wars, like everything was in there. It was insane. But that guy who was a security guard was also like super knowledgeable, and he must have been hired because he knew all about arcade machines and how to work on them and fix them. And that guy actually taught us a ton on how to fix them ourselves, and taught us everything like about JAMA boards and the harnesses, the different things they used, and you know how to convert machines, multi-button. Seems really simple once you know. Also, like little things to, like, if something's not working right, just reseat the EEPROMs and all these things that we had no idea. And they're like much simpler than you think. But yeah, awesome times.
He was like the Mr. Miyagi of arcades.
Yeah, awesome experience. And we could even, the guy was so cool, the security guard repair guy. My friend like had his phone number, and we could call him like if we had picked up a machine and had a problem with it or something, and he'd be like, hey man, we could just bounce stuff off him. This is what's happening. What should I do? And he'd be like, try this. And most of the time it always worked. Unless we needed a part. Very cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below if you have any sweet arcade stories or enjoyed listening to mine or whatever it is.
I have all those, but I'll tell you off air.
Catch you on the next one.